Greetings and welcome to another episode of Trippy Food and another installment of What the Hell Am I Gonna Do with These Pumpkins? Alright, to be fair, we don't really have a regular segment called What the Hell Am I Gonna Do with These Pumpkins? I just kind of made it up. We do have one called It's the Great Pumpkin Spice Charlie Brown. Just didn't think it was somehow, appropriate, but it will end up in that playlist anyway. So, I have here 4 pumpkins. I have some more as well, and I'm gonna try those in different fashions. And the reason that I'm doing pumpkins today is because typically in the fall, you're gonna get pumpkins. Maybe you go out to a pumpkin patch, you pick your own pumpkins. And over the years, they developed some really interesting varieties of pumpkin. Now, the bottom line is that all types of pumpkins are edible, except some taste better than others. Others have a strange flavor. And the other thing you want to be careful of is if something is grown specifically as an ornamental, maybe use pesticides or something like that on it. So you want to be careful of something like that. But we have 4 different kinds of pumpkins here. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, it's kind of late in the year, and I got these pumpkins in October. Are they still good? As long as you don't feel any soft spots in the skin, they've been kept in a cool, dry place, they're pretty good. As long as you don't pierce the skin, as long as the skin is unbroken, they're pretty good. So we're going to try these 4 different varieties. Now, this one's going to be very familiar to you. This is typically called a pie pumpkin. There's also different varieties of pie pumpkins, but they're primarily used to make pumpkin pie. Or, pumpkin dishes, pumpkin cheesecake, things along those lines. What I'm going to do with these pumpkins is, for some of them, I'm going to steam a couple of pieces of them just so I can get an idea of what they are and I can know what kind of dishes to make, because I'm going to make various dishes from this. This is a known commodity. I already know what this tastes like, so I'm going to do something special with this one, and I'm just going to kind of wing that one. So this one we know what we're going to do with, so I'm going to kind of put that one aside for now. Now this little one is called a dwarf tiger striped pumpkin. So it is a pumpkin. You'll notice it has that orange on the bottom, green on the top. It's very, very pretty. Now, for this one, I don't think I'm going to cut it open and steam it so I can see what it tastes like to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Because it is small, relatively small like that, I'm not even going to cut it open or anything. I'm just going to roast it whole in the oven. And we're going to do it about 400 degrees for almost an hour. We're just going to open it up, maybe put some butter, some walnuts, some cinnamon or something like that on it, and enjoy it the way it is. Well, we'll take a taste of it first, to see what the actual flavor is. So this one we're just gonna roast whole. This one is interesting. This is called a Long Island cheese pumpkin. Probably because it looks like a wheel of cheese. I'm not sure what that one's gonna taste like, so that one we are going to steam. There's a little spot there that looks like a hole, but we're gonna chance it, because like I said, I don't see any other places where it looks like it could be compromised. That one, we're gonna steam a piece of that and see what that tastes like. And then this one, this big one here, is called a Cinderella pumpkin, because I guess it looks like the pumpkin that they used to turn into a coach for the story Cinderella, I'm guessing. So these come in a couple of different colors. They range from like a pinkish color to an orangish color to a reddish color. So this is another one that I'm gonna cut open and steam a piece of it to see what it tastes like. So these 2 and the other 2, I kind of know what I'm gonna do with those already. So I'm gonna get started, and you can join me along the way. Okay, you saw me take the seeds out. There's a reason for that. Nothing goes to waste here, so we're gonna roast the seeds. Of all the pumpkins that we use, we're gonna roast the seeds. Now, when you steam these, the skin comes off easier. Maybe not this one so much. Looks like maybe we didn't put it in long enough, or we didn't steam it long enough. But what I plan to do is I plan to save all the skins as well, because the skin is edible. So I think I'm gonna fry those and see what fried pumpkin skins taste like. Now, I'm going to taste these right now, and we're going to try to make a decision on what we're going to do with these two pumpkins. The other ones we already know. So let's try this one first. That one has more fiber to it. You know, kind of a stringy fiber to it. It has a sweet, buttery, and nutty taste, like a butternut squash. There's a good one. It has kind of a butternut squash taste. I think I'm gonna make pumpkin hash with that, like pumpkin hash browns with that. Okay, let's try this one. I think I didn't steam it long enough. It's okay. I get an idea what it tastes like. It's steamed enough to eat. Ooh. That is almost turnipy. It's sweet, but it's not pumpkin pie sweet. It's not pie pumpkin sweet. It's almost meaty. I think I'm gonna grill this. I'm gonna cut into slices. I'm gonna steam them a little bit to soften them up, and then I'm gonna grill them. So we're gonna do pumpkin hash browns. I'm gonna do grilled with this one. I'm gonna make a special dish with the pie pumpkin, and the little guy I'm gonna roast whole. So let me get started on that. We'll be back with you in a little bit. Okay, let's try some of our creations. So we're gonna start with the grilled one. If you remember, this was the Cinderella pumpkin. And so basically what I did was I steamed it, just to kind of cook it a little bit. And then I just put it on the grill, salt, pepper, some olive oil, brushed it with olive oil. Let's see what this is all about. Grilled pumpkin. And you can cut right into the skin, and the skin is completely edible. So once it's been cooked, the skin is a little bit softer. Just eat its skin and all. Oh yeah, oh, that's good. Almost like a sweet potato, but not quite as sweet. So the only other thing I put on it was salt and pepper, which I think is nice. I think it's nice to have something to offset the sweetness. That was really good. Let's say you're gonna serve a steak. This would be a good side dish for a steak. That's outstanding. A Cinderella pumpkin. All right, now let's try the hash that we made with a Long Island cheese pumpkin. Pumpkin hash browns. And again, this was on the grill with butter, some salt and pepper. All right. Now, I would have liked these to be crispier. The problem is the pumpkin is a fruit, and as a fruit, it has a certain amount of water content to it. And so you're gonna cook it, you're not necessarily gonna get that crunchiness that you do from potatoes when you're making hash browns with potatoes. But the flavor of the Long Island cheese pumpkin is completely different than the Cinderella pumpkin. And so that flavor, much more mellow flavor and not sweet. But still, really good. But then, in order to really achieve that crispiness, if you're gonna do something like this, I think maybe this would be better done as latkes, which are fried. You're adding some egg and some, matzo meal to that. They're gonna firm up, but it's gonna be a lot crispier, I think. So that's the way to go with this. Again, pumpkin has a lot of water content, and so it is what it is. But it's really tasty. Came out really good. Thumbs up. Okay, now we're gonna try the dwarf tiger striped pumpkin. I didn't put anything in this or on this. It just smells wonderful. It's really, there's like a kind of spice exuding from it, like I don't know if it's like a nutmeg or something like that, but there's absolutely no spices on this. It just smells really, really nice, and I can't describe this. So I'm going to cut the top off, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop out the seeds, and we're gonna try some just like it is, and then we'll dress it up a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of stringy, almost like a spaghetti squash kind of thing. Let's see if we can scoop those seeds out without doing too much damage. Not really. See, I think I'm gonna cut the top off completely. And it just goes through it like butter. Really tender. There's some liquid that's coming out of it. I didn't add anything, no water, nothing. So that's all the pumpkin. All right, I'm gonna actually eat those bits there. I'm gonna try a piece of the skin. That's pretty good too. All right, here we go. Let's get these seeds in the bowl. And we roasted this in the oven at 400 degrees for an hour. So, and I can tell just by looking at it that it's well cooked. I'm not gonna be like overly careful about getting all the seeds out of here, just most of them. And we're gonna add that to those other seeds. We're not gonna waste anything. So the seeds from all the pumpkins, we're gonna roast. We're gonna roast them all together. For such a small pumpkin, there's a lot of seeds in here. All right, that ought to do it. Okay, that's fine. So, I'm gonna taste some just as it is. Okay, so that has some fibery texture, almost like spaghetti squash. And it has some teeth to it. And I'm gonna call it mild. It's not sweet, but it's not much of anything else really. So it's a good thing to add stuff to. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add some butter. I'm gonna add some cinnamon. I'm going to add some honey. Little known and even less cared about fact, honey is the one food that doesn't go bad. It will crystallize, but it won't go bad. And I'm going to put some walnuts in there as well. And this is a really good way to prepare acorn squash. And remember, again, squash, pumpkin, they're all in the same family. So I'm going to see if I can pull this the meat away from the skin without having it completely fall apart. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's working pretty well. And I saved the skin from a couple of the other pumpkins, and I may save some of this skin as well to fry. All right, let's try this. Here we go. And that is really, really good. I really like that stringy texture. I mean, it's not tough and stringy. It's just, you know, it has fiber to it, but it's easy to chew. It's a really, really nice flavor. It's very mellow. You know, I can't describe it even to another squash. That's a really, really nice pumpkin. So, yeah, that's gonna get a thumbs up. Well, alrighty, so here's our stew, and this is made from our pie pumpkin. So I added some pork. I just kind of browned it a little bit. Then I put it in the slow cooker. We added the pumpkin, left the skins on. Skins are edible. Figured they would cook down. I put some pearl onions in there, put some cranberries in there, a variety of different spices, including rosemary, cinnamon, ginger, salt and pepper. So I think this is gonna be really nice. Oh, I also put this on top of a bed of brown rice, stir-fried brown rice. So I think this is gonna be pretty good. Let's give this a shot. I was gonna use the fork. I think I'm gonna use the spoon, and I can get a little bit of everything in there. I think the pie pumpkin is gonna be sweet, so it's gonna give us some sweetness. And I want the cranberries to add like a little bit of tartness there, and then savory from the pork, the onion. Here, let's get an onion in there too. There we go. Oh, we don't have any pumpkin. All right. Here we go. Oh my God, that's delicious. Not what you would immediately think of, I think, in terms of what you're going to use with pie pumpkin. But there's no set rules here, you know? Basically, just do anything you want. So far, what have we made? We've made pumpkin hash browns, made pumpkin stew, done grilled pumpkin, and we roasted a pumpkin whole. Now, again, there's no rule. I mean, you can make pumpkin soup if you want. You can make a stewed pumpkin. You can steam it or even boil it and then mash it as a side dish. There's so many different things. You can puree it and use it to make, cakes or things on those. Like, there's so much versatility. But then again, remember, there's so many different varieties of pumpkins. There's so many different flavors. So I guess that pretty much ends it. No, it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. We got other stuff to do too. So we have our pumpkin seeds from all our different pumpkins. We're gonna roast these. And then we have our pumpkin skins. So we've taken the skin off all of our pumpkins, and I'm gonna fry these. I'm gonna make pumpkin chips with these. So bear with me, we'll get set up and we'll move on to that. All right, here we go. These things are starting to pop like popcorn. It's funny. So the way popcorn works is that the popcorn kernel has water in it. It's a tiny amount of water. When that water heats up, boom, popcorn. So the same thing is happening here. Now, the thing about pumpkin seeds is pumpkin seeds are edible. The whole seed is edible. So you don't have to break it open and eat the inside. You just pop the whole thing in your mouth. Now, you might not want to do that because there's some, fiber to the shell. You just might not want to do that. So we're just going to take one here at random, and I'll kind of show you the best way if you don't want to eat the shell. So I just put it this way between your teeth and just crack that shell on the end. There we go. I don't see any that are popped like popcorn. I mean, really like puffed up. Here we go. Really nice flavor. Now, if you want, you just, buy them like that, shelled already. But this way is really nice too, and there's no waste. So we're gonna let these cool off. Enjoy those as a snack. Here, that one, let's get split open. Enjoy these as a snack later, and get on to frying us some pumpkin skins. Okay, you ready to have some fun? I'm ready to have some fun. We're going to make pumpkin skin chips. So basically I peeled some of these skins. Some of them I just pulled off after they were steamed. And so I have these pumpkin skins here from all 4 pumpkins. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make pumpkin chips. I'm gonna fry them in oil and make pumpkin chips. Now, I don't know if there's a right way to do this or a wrong way to do this, because I don't know if this is even possible. I've never heard of anybody doing it. But again, no waste. I wanted to use everything, and so I'm going to. So let's just put some of these in the basket. I don't know how many is a good amount. I guess it's fine. That'll work. Pop that in the oil. Give it a few minutes. The sound you hear is the moisture, the water that's still in the skin. Anytime you add something with moisture or water in oil, you're going to get that sound and spatter. Fortunately, we have our spatter shield here. These are really thin, so they look like they're crisping up pretty quick. I don't want them to burn, but I do want them to get crispy. I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to try one. See if I can do this without burning my mouth. They kind of curled up too, which is kind of funny. There we go. That's going to be hot. Yep. All right, perfect. All right, I'm gonna get the rest of this all fried up. I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, our chips are done. They look pretty good, and there's such a variety, I mean, of textures and shapes in here. So I'm gonna see if I can remember which one was which. I think the larger pieces are going to be the dwarf tiger stripe pumpkin. Let's see if I can find one of those. Look at this guy here. Yeah, this guy here, you can actually see the stripe still on it. All right, so we're gonna try this. You can hear that crunch. Now, there's a little bit of give to it, because if you think about it, think about like from a potato chip standpoint. Imagine that you're frying the skin of the potato instead of the potato, the thinly sliced potato itself. It's the same deal with this. So there's gonna be a little bit more chewiness to it, because it's not going to be like a potato chip, it's going to be like the skin of a potato that you're frying. That one's really tasty, really good. This one, I believe, is our Cinderella pumpkin. That one has a thicker skin. There's a little bit more chewing on that one. The little ones that kind of curled up are from the Long Island cheese pumpkin, that's these. Completely different flavors here. Here's another red one, and that one's going to be the Cinderella pumpkin. And some of these have a little bit of pumpkin meat on them, so it gives it a little bit extra flavor. Really, really good. I'm really pleased with how this came out, especially since I was kind of making it up as I went along. So, again, all kinds of ways that you can use pumpkin. When you buy those pumpkins for the fall season, whether it's for Halloween decorations or even for Thanksgiving decorations or anything, just remember that these things are edible and don't waste them. Actually go ahead and use them, and they're so versatile they can be used for all kinds of things. Now, maybe you say, I don't really want to eat the pumpkins, I don't really want to. Well, the other thing you can do is, let's say you go out to a wooded area or so and put the pumpkins out there, break them up and put them out there, because the deer and the other animals will eat them. And so it's nice food for them. So give this a shot. Don't throw those pumpkins away. Now, if you're gonna carve your pumpkin, that's different. You're gonna have to get rid of that. So my suggestion is maybe Halloween time, use a Sharpie or something and just draw on the pumpkin so that you can use it afterwards. But it's a really nice way to make food stretch, and a really tasty way of utilizing what you have. There's so many different things you can make with it, so many different tastes. But when you do out there, just remember it's crazy out there. So please be careful, take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.